Hello, welcome to liveprog. Now you're probably wondering, hey, where's the info about the album you're going to review? What is this? Well, I'm going to tell you in a little bit what the album is we're going to review. I can tell you already it's a Dutch band. But before we come to that, let's go back in time a little bit to 2003, when a young Dutch band just released their third album, which would later turn out to be their breakthrough album in Holland. This band was called Within Temptation, and they had a drummer called Ivar de Graaf. Now, Ivar did something really brave, in my opinion. The band hit success. They were picked up by Dutch radio and they grew out to be one of the top-selling export products, musically speaking, in Holland. However, Ivar wanted something different. He wanted to make his own music, so he left the band and he teamed up with a singer, with Judith Reinfeldt, and together they formed Kingfisher Sky. And Kingfisher Sky is the band I'm going to present to you this evening. Now, back in 2007, Kingfisher Sky released their debut album, Hallway of Dreams, which is definitely a very good album. But we're not going to talk about this one. Of course, we're going to talk about, let me get it, this one, Skin of the Earth. This was released in 2010, and it's their second album, so of course everybody is quite curious. Will they continue the line? What will they do now? Now, I'm not going to talk about the past, we're going to talk about this one. And if I look at the album and look at the artwork, and especially the way it's packed, then you can open it up. There's a picture of the singer, Judith. You have the CD, and you even have in here more artwork, a booklet with a band photo, with, well, lots of information, and I can give you a small glimpse. But you can fold it open and you have a huge piece of art. I'd almost say you frame it and you have a nice poster. So, artwork wise, the band has done, well, as much as they could. I mean, how more appealing do you want a CD to be? But of course, we don't judge a book by the cover. The cover is beautiful. What about the music? Well, let's just listen to one of the songs of the album so you can get an impression of how they sound. And I'm going to play you the second track from the album, which is called Rise from the Flames. And the thing I like about this track is the folky influence in this one.
Inside your hands, so grey and dark, all that you once had before, it is a gone. Now it is time to stand up. Live again, breathe in the air, rise from the ashes, free your soul, reclaim your life, rise from the flame. No need to wallow in misery. The world lies before you, bridges are burned.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this track. You can hear that they have, of course, the metal foundation that's evident throughout the entire album, but they add a lot of elements which makes it interesting, like the folky parts here. One thing is very clear here. Judith Reinfeldt has a beautiful voice. Her voice is the highlight of the album and definitely the center of attention, so to speak. And her voice shines out throughout every song of the album. Noteworthy is the fact that Ivar's former Within Temptation colleague Ruud Joly plays a mandolin on this song, which is very interesting. Now, the best thing I can do is just play you a little more music so you can hear the differences in the songs, and then you can, well, get an image of yourself of what this album is all about. And besides, what more reason do you want than the fact that the music is beautiful? So listen to The Attic.
Sweeping the stairs, one stroke of light through a secret window. Everyone has forgotten there was a time someone lived here, and so the wind hits out.
Given the background of Ivar from Within Temptation, it wouldn't be strange that the main sound of the album is still, well, it still resembles the gothic metal that he used to play. But it's more than that, you know. It would be too easy to just say, well, throw it on the same pile as a lot of other bands. No, they really do an effort to stand out, to make something different of the music, something interesting, and they have a lot of elements in it. They have, well, you heard the folky element, you heard they make some really beautiful songs. I mean, an album should entertain you. Well, that's something they definitely can do. But they also add some pop elements, which makes it a very accessible album. They add some proggy elements in it. So even, well, the prog fans definitely will enjoy this album. There's a lot to find. And one element that I specifically like is the cello by Maaike Petersen. Her role is a very nice one on the album. I mean, you have the basic drummer, bass, 2-guitar, keyboard, singer lineup, and then they add a cello to that. So that's very nice, and you can definitely hear the value of that in the album. Now, of course, Ivar is the drummer, so it should be obvious that in some songs the drums get the lead, or at least some more attention. And especially in the next song, which has an opening which I really like. It's called My Better Part. Songs of the album, and you know a little bit of the people responsible for this album. So I hope you enjoyed it. I must say, Kingfisher Sky, Skin of the Earth, definitely recommend it. It's definitely a good album to enjoy, and there's a lot to discover in. So Well, for the rest, I leave it up to you. You make up your own mind about the album, and I'm gonna leave you with the last track of the album, which is called Edge of Insanity. See you next time.